I know you guys are like, girl, you ain't doing all that stuff. I might not. But listen. Hey guys, it's Nikki with That Homeschool Life, and today I want to share with you what we are using for our 2021 second semester homeschool curriculum. It's all secular, so if you're into that, stick around. Y'all know I'm a recovering curriculum hopper, Mr. D. That's math. It's an online class. It's they're self-paced, but we do the live class, which meets once a week for 55 minutes. And then there are 3 or 4 help sessions throughout the week for about an hour. Those are live as well. So there's lots of opportunity to get in front of a teacher to work on your problems. We love it. This is, I think, his 4th class with Mr. D. That's math. Still with math. For my 6th grader, we are still using Beast Academy. Now, my sons take Beast Academy online classes that meet twice a week. There is an online program where you can do a lot of lessons, but I'm referring to the actual class with the teacher and students that's live. Those classes meet twice a week for 55 minutes. So we're doing, oh, wrong book. So for the second semester, we're using 4C and 4D. Those are the practice books. But let's see the color ones. So math for my 6th grader, Beast Academy, 4C and 4D. And if you know anything about Beast Academy, it is the most challenging math curriculum out on the market, and it is recommended that you start a grade level below your child's current grade level. And in this case, I started my child 2 grade levels below, and it's still very challenging. It stumps even my husband. So for my third grader, Beast Academy online class as well, and we are doing 3C. Oh, I got them all out of order. I got everything out of order, guys. Sorry about that. We're doing 3C. This is the guidebook or your textbook and your actual workbook. 3C and 3D. So that's for math. Let me turn this light down so the glare won't be so bright. Okay, I hope that's better. So that's math. Okay, guys, next is writing. We are using writing and rhetoric. For my 8th grader, I don't have his books yet, but we are using Writing and Rhetoric, Book 6. I'll just grab my other son's book so you can just see. Oh, that's small. He'll be using Book 6, Commonplace. And the reason why he's starting, he's using the book for a lower level. I started him at a higher level, but then I realized how great this curriculum is. So I took him back to level 1. And so we've just been trudging through. So like I said, make the curriculum work for you. So for writing, he'll be using Book 6, Writing and Rhetoric. For my 6th grader, he will be, well, he's still working on, where's the book? He's still trudging through Writing and Rhetoric, Book 3, Narrative 2. Okay, that's by Paul. I never know how to say his name, but there it is. So he's going to finish this and then move on to Book 4, which is the Craya. Y'all see that? So that will be Book 4. So for 6th grade, finishing Book 3 of Writing and Rhetoric, and then starting with Writing and Rhetoric, Book 4, the Craya. Now, my 3rd grader will be finishing Writing and Rhetoric, Book 2, which is Narrative 1. He'll be finishing that. And then he'll be starting probably around March, Writing and Rhetoric, Book 3, which is Narrative Part 2. I apologize for the glare, guys. So for writing, that's it. It's science. Okay, y'all know from last semester, we had issues with the science curriculum that we were using, and we found something that we like, which is Guest Hollow's The Anatomy. It's the Anatomy series, okay? So we've gotten pretty far into that, And from that, my kids started wanting to do chemistry. So we love Guest Hollow. They're kind of a little burnt out with the anatomy. So, so we decided we'll just make that a semester approach. We're going to put that on pause, and then we're going to move over to chemistry, and we're going to use Ellen McHenry's The Elements, Ingredients of the Universe. That's the student text. Now, what my kids really like, as I told you guys before in a previous video, they like a literature approach to their learning. And with this book reminds me of like the old 1970s, the School of Rock, how they present information. They're very conversational, these books, and they talk to kids like, you know, kids have common sense and kids can get stuff. So this is your chemistry textbook, okay? It's not that dry stuff you see that's on the market. Really fun, really fun. So we're using that for chemistry. And then in addition to that, I have the cartoon guide to chemistry. And the reason why I picked this up is because it's so funny. It's story-based. I want to use this as an introduction to each unit in this book. Just because it's really fun, it's quick, and you can really get the whole picture about something with images or something funny. So that's like our appetizer. And then the elements is the entree. And then for my oldest son, by the way, for science, all of my kids are using the same curriculum, okay? Yeah, save your sanity, y'all. For sciences and the social sciences, put your kids together. So for my oldest one, we're gonna do Life of Fred Chemistry. A lot of y'all don't know that Life of Fred covers all the way up to 12th grade. Now this, my son will be doing with his math tutor. I'm gonna be pretty hands off with this. But the reason why he's doing it now is because he's in Algebra 2, and the science that he's using doesn't match up with what he knows in math. Eventually he'll be going into like Algebra 2 based physics and things like that. I wanted him to be exposed to science that draws upon higher level math. So, you know, so Life of Fred gets that in there pretty nicely, okay? But it's not overwhelming. I just looked through it. I didn't feel overwhelmed. Okay, so that's science. The Elements by Helen McHenry. The Cartoon Guide to Chemistry by Larry Gonick. And Life of Fred Chemistry. And that's our science. Okay. Next we have history. Woo! Help me on this one, y'all. This is gonna be a long segment. Okay, y'all know I put my own history curriculum together now, okay? And for this semester, we are studying the medieval ages or the Middle Ages, okay? Now, I have two approaches to that. Y'all let me know what y'all think of my approach. Okay, so we're using Story of the World. This is book 2, the Middle Ages. Oh, that's the activity book. And this is like your main textbook. So book 2, the Middle Ages, okay? And we also have the audiobook. Now I'm using this as a spine, okay? And then they have activities. Disclaimer, I haven't even looked at these activities. I haven't even sat down and gone through this, so I need to sit down and see if I even want to use this. So just so y'all know, I never busted this book open, and I've had it for like 5 years. So, and the reason why I'm using that as a spine is because all the events and major characters, and when we're talking about the Middle Ages, we're primarily talking about Europe, right? Now, if some of you guys have really credible and reputable sources for the Middle Ages in China, India, South America, and Africa, please let me know. I do have a few on Africa, which you're going to see in a minute, but just let me know. But just know that most of my resources are going to talk about Europe, okay? Now, I'm using that as the spine. And with that, because I have some issues with the story of the world, I pulled out horrible histories just to take a snapshot of some of the players, the Stuarts, the measly Middle Ages, the Saxons, and the Tudors. And for those of you who are not familiar with the horrible histories, I'm going to actually do a video. You can't see it. I'm going to do a whole video series on these. We love these. They're really fun. They kind of tell you all the behind the scenes, nitty gritty details about how life was like back then. But listen, since we're doing the Middle Ages, the story of the world is very Eurocentric. So I had to go to my scholars, Runoko Rushidi and Robin Walker, and get the goods on what Black folks were doing in England, or just the Middle Ages period, excuse me. So while Story of the World is our main spine, for each chapter in Story of the World, we're going to come here to get the behind the scenes, what was really going down. Now, some of these books, now I'm not going to read all of these books. Some I'm just reading passages because they're very interesting, or they have great pictures. Now this one is really popular that I'm going to talk about, The Black Prince of Florence, Alessandro de Medici. He kind of looks like Jesse Smollett. Don't he look like Jesse Smollett from Empire? Anyway, Journey Smollett's brother. So anyway, so we're going to talk about the major Black, and when I say Black, that's another reason why we're using these books, so we can be straight on the terms to use, but for this video's sake. So we'll talk about the major characters throughout Europe, the Black Kings of Europe. Oh, this horrible ring light glare. The Black Kings of Europe by Anu Mbatu. And I like this one because it comes, well, all of these books give you evidence, artifacts, paintings, coins, what have you, of the African presence in Europe. And this one gives you so much comparison. It gives you a lot of comparison of all the artifacts that you find. And I think this is really great. I don't know how she got in there, but it's really, really great. It talks about how Africans were able to get into royal society. It's really, really very informative. Then you have by Runoko Rushidi, The Black Star, the African presence in Europe. There we go. If I go closer, you can probably see it. All right, guys, let me just turn the light down on here. Okay, hopefully you can see that better. Now, with this one, this kind of informed our reading book list for this semester, which is going to be books from Alexander Dumas, and I'll get into that when I get into reading after this video. So this one talks about, again, more research on how the Blacks were treated, what they were called, what life was like in the village, in the royal court, all of that. And then it has lots of pictures, lots of, let me just show you. It shows you, it has lots of images for you to see. And it gives you also a great snapshot of what medieval life was like. Okay, so you want to get as many perspectives about how people lived during that time. You don't just want it from one lens, okay? So this is another lens. And then this one, and this is really mainly for me, it's the Blackamoors, Africans in Tudor England, their present status and origins. And that's by Onyeka, or Onyeka. There you go. And now this was, so, and I have so many video guys. I'm going to talk about how I put together a curriculum really quickly, or a unit study, how to take a book and break it down and pull from it what you need, where you can have a week, 2 weeks, a month worth of lessons or readings or discussions. Okay, so I like this because it talks about it goes into more detail about life and the medieval period. Lots of pictures. So where I have the tags, Those are passages I want to read to my kids. Look at that. So when we are reading through here, I can say, oh, well, let's see. They're talking about common village life or whatever. Then we can go into the other books and get more information. Okay, so that's history. It is the medieval ages or the Middle Ages, with a focus on Europe and more specifically Africans in Europe. More information on what Africans were doing during the Middle Ages. I highly recommend, and we use this. It's a YouTube channel called Home Team History, and they have titles like what Africans were doing during Charlemagne, or what were Africans doing during the Renaissance or the Middle Ages, but they'll take like a snapshot. So the Home Team History channel, I'll leave a link down below. And the last one for guys, this one is a really good book, The Spectacular Life and Treacherous World of Alessandro de' Medici. I hope I'm saying that right. Now this, you read this first if you can. It's a great story. So just by the storytelling of this, you get a lot of history. I haven't finished reading it. I actually need to just probably do the audio book, but getting this, even if you just read the first couple of chapters, you get a great picture of what life was like, the royal court, if you lived outside the court. So I really recommend this book. Now, because we're doing medieval, you got to talk about Camelot, King Arthur. And I saw this online. I don't even know if we're gonna like it, but it's by John Steinbeck, who wrote The Grapes of Wrath and other great works. And it's the acts of King Arthur and his noble knights. So we're gonna start reading it probably in February, because I kind of want to read through some of it first. But if it's written anything like John Steinbeck's previous works or other works, then I'm excited for this. So we'll be studying, the Round Table, King Arthur, Camelot, all the myths and things surrounding that this semester. And then last but not least, I'm really big on connecting the dots, especially where history is concerned. So, and I don't have enough room, hold on, for this timeline. Now, I don't have enough room for this timeline. Hold on. This is a long timeline. I wish I had a room where I could put this on the wall. But let me get to the Middle Ages. You see, I'm still scrolling. I'm still opening up the scroll. All right, here we go. I put paper clips here. So right here, you have, can y'all see that? The Middle Ages, 1066 to 1485. Now, it looks really busy because I got one of the smaller scrolls. So everything's kind of crammed in, but starting at the top, going all the way down for this time period, you'll see the major events during this period. And you'll see what's going on throughout the world, not just in Europe, okay? Not just in Europe. Here we go. I don't know if y'all can see all that. All right, so this will not be on the wall. I'm going to try to make a photocopy of just that snapshot and then put that on the wall. So that's history. Wish us luck, guys. That's a lot. I'm going to definitely have a follow-up video on how I put stuff like this together and how to get the most out of novel unit studies that you put together yourself. For history, everyone uses the same curriculum. I combine all my kids for that. For history and for science, we all use the same thing. Okay, next is Spanish. Y'all know my struggles with Spanish. Oh my goodness. But I think I found something, because last semester we just did Duolingo. And while I was, fine and everything, my kids needed something a little bit more substantial. And something that they could, write and read, just more modalities involved with their learning. Erica from My Busy Bees and Knees recommended Living Language Spanish. These are CDs, they're audio. It's an audio program, and I'm super excited to try this. We haven't used it yet. We'll be breaking it out this week, but you have all the books for Spanish, and then we have the 9 audio CDs, which are here. And that was really what I wanted, guys. I really needed to have audio to go with the learning to make sure the pronunciation was on point. So we're going to be using that along with 52 weeks of Spanish. Bite-sized weekly lessons designed to get you and your family speaking. Isn't that what we all need? My goodness. So I'm excited about this. So I've never used this before. I don't know how it's going to work out, but just something, that's what I want. I want bite-sized daily stuff, okay? Nothing overwhelming right now, because we're doing a lot of subjects this semester. So I just need something that I can be consistent with. And then I got this from Lakeshore, Spanish, Everything You Need to Know to Get Talking. And I got it because it has flashcards and an audio. But the book, guys, look at the book. Number one, y'all know I like color. And I like how books feel. This has a magazine feel, the papers, but I can work with this. Lots of information, very easy. It doesn't assume you have any kind of background, because a lot of Spanish curriculums say, oh, beginners, and then they go from 0 to 100 by page 4. So look at this. What are they doing? You got pictures. If this is good. If your child can't read, they can look at a picture and decipher and decode. And then it tells you top tips for this subject or this expression. And then you have a game. This is very interactive. Look at that. And a puzzle. And wasn't I telling you that I like Duolingo, but I needed something more? I needed something hands-on, something visual and auditory, kinesthetic. This gives us all of that. So I like that. And coupled with the 52 weeks of Spanish, I think I'm going to do something with that. I can get more out of that book than what the book offers. So that's Spanish. So wish us luck on that. And everyone will be doing Spanish together. My oldest son did Spanish in high school. He did a year of Spanish in high school. That stuff is not sticking. So we need something consistent and regular. Okay, so I hit everything. Math, reading. Now, because our history has a lot of reading in it, actually all of their curriculum books have a lot of reading. I'm not doing novel unit studies yet, okay? Now, what we are going to be reading, and I don't have the books just yet, the Alexander Dumas books, The Three Musketeers, The Count of Monte Cristo. Did I say Cristo? The reason why we're doing that is because Alexander Dumas features pretty prominently in some of the blacks in Europe during the Middle Ages. And so I just thought that would be a nice tie-in. Oh, I'm sorry. We did read The Prince of Thieves by Alexander Dumas. That took a lot out of me, guys. It was a lot of old English. Whew. So, but we were reading Robin Hood, and then we kind of moved over to The Prince of Thieves with Alexander Dumas. And I said, you know what? Since we're going to be doing the Middle Ages, let's just read his works. And we can also learn about him because he's in one of these books. So yeah, Dumas is, he's got, a cameo. Dumas has a little section in here. Okay, moving on. I'm almost done, guys. My 3rd grader is still doing spelling, all about spelling. He is in the middle of level 2, and we should be finished with this maybe around March or whenever we get through, and then we'll move on to level 3. I think this goes up to level 7. I think level 3 will be sufficient for him. I'm thinking. So for spelling, we're using that. And the reason why I'm doing spelling, this curriculum really brings in phonics, which my son was weak with. So he's getting a lot of the phonics, a lot of the 93 sounds, because you guys know there's 93 sounds, right, in the English language. And because I was so influenced by Marva Collins and her approach to teaching, and with those fundamentals of sound and being able to manipulate words so you can read anything at any level, no matter your age, I say, you know what, we're using this, and this is the closest thing I can find to what Marva Collins. Watch my video on my top teacher inspired movies, because she's on the list, and you'll find out why. So next, logic. Now this is only for my 8th grader. Now we did logic before. Now we're just getting a little bit more nuance with it. And where is my book? We're using Life of Fred. Now I was supposed to start this last semester. I didn't have time. Y'all know I tore muscles in my shoulder and my biceps. I had a pinched nerve in my neck. So I was focused on reading, writing, math, and that was it. So we're gonna be doing logic, Life of Fred. I just opened up just a little bit. Life of Fred. And then these two little gems, Mastering Logical Fallacies. Now I love this book. I love the writing. I love the tone of this book. So it will be Mastering Logical Fallacies, the definitive guide to flawless rhetoric and bulletproof logic. The reason why I like this book is the layout of the information. Not only is it universally appealing, and how all the information is chunked on here, but how they present the information, I think is very easy for you to really take in. And then this one was the more fun approach. This is Logical Fallacy Monsters, an illustrated guide. And y'all know stories, pictures, things like that, they help to solidify the information, the learning. So look at that. Once you associate a fallacy with an animal, you'll never forget your fallacy. Okay, so that's a fun one. So we're gonna have fun with this one. I cannot wait to get started with that. Truth be told, we'll probably just focus on these two, and then he can just read this on his own. So we'll see. I'll let you know how that goes. Are you guys still with me? Grammar. I think this is the last one. So this is my 4th grader and 6th grader. So they're doing Grammar Town. Michael Clay Thompson, the Grammar Town series. I'm sorry, one book is an older book. My oldest son did this. Which one is I think this is the older one, and this is the newer version. So Grammar Town and Paragraph Town. Now, my middle son is actually taking a class called It's Paragraph Town through Online G3. And it's just a 6-week workshop, and that's all that's needed. This won't take long at all. I think it's just a great little jump start into writing paragraphs. So this is really short and brief. It's not going to interfere with their writing and rhetoric, but sometimes I feel throughout the semester, my kids at least need a break from their curriculum. And then that's when the supplements are great to come in, and then they get something with a different perspective, and then they go back to their regular curriculum with probably, additional insight or just a fresh eyes, and that's all they needed. All right, guys, I think I covered everything. I hope so, because I know this video is long. Never you worry, I will break this video up into 3 separate videos for each grade level. So, and for reading, nope, don't fall. My oldest one, we're still working on Sun Tzu, The Art of War, the new illustrated edition. This book is beautiful, and it feels amazing. Oh my gosh, it feels like silk. Now this book we'll be using for the whole year, because there are 13 precepts, but it's lots of information. Lots of information involved, okay? This is something you read for the rest of your life. Guys, this book is heavy because the pages, oh, the pages, such great quality pages. Look at the sheen on these pages. Look at that. You know how hard it is to get print like that? Look at the print over the text. So anyway, so that's reading. Okay, and then on top of all of that, my kids are taking a couple of online classes. Is that too much? I know you guys are like, girl, you ain't doing all that stuff. I might not. But listen, so these are the classes. It's the Paragraph Town by Michael Clay Thompson. That's a 6-week writing workshop, just 6 weeks, okay? And that's just for my middle, my 2 younger kids, okay? They're also doing Shakespeare's comedies and sonnets. So another class that all of my kids are doing is world history through movies. It has nothing to do with medieval history that we're studying, but my kids have been so fascinated with World War II. I mean, they have just been, when your kids get laser locked on something, you just have to just keep throwing everything at them that's related to it and just let them sponge it all up. So they're really into World War II. And so we're going to watch World War II through movies. We've done that class before and the class is amazing. So they're going to be doing that. So it's just those 3 classes. They're more fun classes. I'm not requiring them to do anything extra besides just participate in the class. So don't be overwhelmed by everything that you're seeing me do, guys. I homeschool throughout the year, so I can stretch these subjects out as long as I want to. And doing a block schedule is perfect for that because you don't have to do everything every day all at once. You just chop it up, but you just do it over a longer period of time, okay? So I need to do a video on block schedules, okay? Because once you learn the power of a block schedule, you won't be afraid to add things to your homeschool because you know it will get done. So anyway, I'm done bumping my gums. Y'all like my new background? I did it just for y'all. Anyway, I'll see you guys on another video with another share. Please like, share, and subscribe. Help me out in these algorithm streets. These algorithm streets. I'm just out here begging with polka dots on and pearls. Y'all got me begging out here. My mom will be horrified. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Mwah. Love you.